Okay. So there's that. And then
keep on going straight.
Yeah, over this way. Hey, Sabrina, when you get a chance, can you grab this chair for us?
Where is it? Where's the chair?
It's under there.
And then
Yes.
you want to
Okay.
touch the chair and see.
All right, thanks.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Sabrina. Oh,
Okay.
There we go.
who's this here in front of me? Is that you?
Yeah, it's me, bro.
Oh, but should
Okay.
I sit like this? Right in front of you, like this?
Yeah, it should work.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we'll see. Thanks. We're just gonna be sitting beside each other.
Oh, so turn my body this way.
Yeah, so right here. So the camera's facing this way. The camera's like here.
Oh, so face this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see how this goes. All right. I gotta make sure that people are. How are you doing, Clint?
I'm good, dude.
That's good.
Nice and cold down here in Georgia.
True.
I mean, it's not like Canada cold, but it's cold.
Did you say Georgia, United States?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the guys I went on the vacation with.
Oh, is he gonna jump on the live too?
Yeah, he's on it. Yeah.
Oh, you're on it right now.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm real good. How are you?
Good. My name is Sheldon.
Sheldon, nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you. I actually have
My name's
a
Clint.
YouTube channel called Sheldon the Blind Traveler.
Yeah.
Sheldon, the blind traveler.
Yes, sir.
I like it.
Yeah. I lost my eyesight 13 years ago
Okay.
from glaucoma.
I'm gonna see if people are in the other one.
I had an issue the other day. I had all kinds of folks running around.
Shit show.
I hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
Okay, so should I start the other one too, or just in case?
So how many lives are you starting right now?
Well, I have the one,
The
but
YouTube one's on
because
right now.
I started one, and then I had to make another one so that I could set it up with this system so that I could have Clint in it.
Okay.
So now I'm trying to think, should I go and start the other one just to see if people accidentally go there?
So is it all going to be linked into one?
No, that's what I was gonna go delete the other one, but then, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Because I went and started posting it on the other groups, and then.
So Clint, is he on the YouTube live or on a different
Well,
live?
it's still a YouTube live,
Okay.
but it's confusing. It's my first one.
Yeah, no worries, brother.
Yeah. Let's see. Ready to go. Comment the new link on all the other posts, just so that. Yeah, it's probably the easiest. Select.
Hey, Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
I know Nick didn't tell you he was good looking, did he? You don't think you're sitting there next to a good looking guy, do you?
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm telling you, man, he's ugly.
True that. You got me. Yeah.
So you guys met in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Nice.
Yeah.
How did you enjoy your trip?
Oh, dude, it was great. It was really nice. They didn't miss, for me. They didn't miss a beat as far as accessibility.
Yep.
Okay. I can hear your accent. I can hear that Georgian.
I got a little
accent.
twang. I got a little twang.
Yeah.
I can turn it up or turn it down.
Yeah.
So how's the weather down there right now?
Sunny and 46 is what it's showing right now.
Okay. That's Fahrenheit, right?
That's
No,
Fahrenheit.
Celsius.
Yep.
Fahrenheit, yeah. So what would that be down here then? Like I can ask my watch right now. Once. Sorry, what's the temperature in Georgia?
Yo, Arrow, what's up? I can't talk right now.
2:08 p.m. and 50 seconds. Monday.
What's the temperature in Georgia?
In Tbilisi, Georgia, it's 5 degrees.
No, Tbilisi. What's the temperature in Atlanta, Georgia?
In Atlanta, Georgia, the United States, it's 9 degrees.
Oh, it is cold.
True.
I didn't know it gets that
What's
cold.
up, Errol?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. I'm doing something right now, but what's up? You need something?
Are you at home?
So that says 7.78 Celsius.
Yeah.
Outside your door waiting for someone to come and score it from you.
Okay, I'll let
Oh,
my
that's what the
PSW.
cab driver was telling me, that there was a TV in front of you.
Okay. Thanks, bro.
I forgot to tell
Yo,
you.
so
Nick.
Brina, can you pick up the TVs outside and put them in the house?
Sorry?
Can you get the TVs that are outside my door and put them on the house?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you. The cab driver was telling me that there's TVs outside, but
Oh,
I'm like,
fuck.
I didn't know it was for you. I'm like, what would there be TVs out like doing outside?
Yeah,
Okay. You got new TVs for your apartment or for your new place? Or?
for the new place, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is there anyone in here yet? Let's see. Okay, let's see if anyone's in here yet. Okay. Come here, you little bumhole. Okay. All right. No one's in here yet. Let me see. Mr. Southern Live. Okay, let's see this thing.
Let me see something. How to add people onto your YouTube live.
2:10.
Sorry, Google search how to add on people to your YouTube live.
Okay, I found this on the web for how to add people to your YouTube live.
You just,
Check it out.
you
I
just
found
go and
this
open the
Siri
link.
show Google how to use YouTube Go Live together. November 20. Heading up, I found this Siri Google search how to add people to your YouTube show
Yeah.
Google how to use YouTube Go Live together. November
Okay.
22nd, 2022. Ellipsis. YouTube have introduced Go Live together, which lets you collaborate with other YouTubers through your mobile device or laptop on a live. Ellipsis. YouTube. How to invite someone to a live stream on YouTube. November 11th, 2022. Ellipsis. I will show you how to invite someone to a live stream. How to invite someone to a live YouTube.
So it's gonna show you right here.
Well, I know how to get people in. I just now have 2 links, so I'm trying to figure out.
How to delete one.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna delete one, but I guess.
Return to Siri.
Okay, I
Button.
have to put
Status
it,
bar item.
edit, delete. Okay.
Hello
Delete.
guys, welcome to today's video by True Stanley, and this is a TS Tech Talk video,
I
guys.
know how to do
So
it.
on today's video, I'm going to show you how to invite someone into a live stream. So you are going to be going live with
It's all
two
good. You don't
different
need to do that.
Okay.
I know how to do it.
Video player. Button. Waiting.
People just have to click the
live
link.
on YouTube.
Oh, that's a fucking shit show.
212.
Call Paul.
Calling Paul. Mobile.
1 second.
Yo, what's going on, brother? No. I'm actually just at my friend's place, Nick. Yeah. I'm just down the street from my building. Yeah, we're actually going to YouTube live on his YouTube channel. Yeah. Well, what are you doing? You're gonna say something. Oh no! Tomorrow morning I have to go for my interview at 9 a.m. No, I didn't even get a schedule, dude. I checked my emails like a half hour ago. Nothing. So, you know what I mean? So what I'm just gonna do? I know. Man, dude. Like as soon as I get there tomorrow morning, I'm just gonna let them know that that Salvation. Yeah, I'm gonna let them know that the Salvation Army that I'm working for right now is only giving me 1 day a week to work for 2 hours.
True that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still in the closet. You can grab them.
Exactly. Like I'm gonna let them know too. It takes me like
Usually,
half hour, 40 minutes to get to the location, half 40 minutes to get back home. So it's not even worth me even going to work. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna let them know that.
whenever
Yeah,
there's a first, it's always
yeah,
a
exactly.
fucking
Dude. Okay,
shit show.
look, Paul. Okay, but yeah.
All right. So
Camera button.
let's see here. Yeah. So.
So do you want to delete this and start all over again?
No. It's good. We got it going. It's just no one's got it in yet.
Oh, so it is running right now.
It is running. Yeah, that's not a problem. I was
Okay.
just posting it on the groups.
Yeah, you have to share it alive now.
Yeah. Just an idea, Clint.
But shouldn't he be on it? It should be if Clint is if
He's-
it should show one person's on it right now.
Well, because he's a guest, so he's not. So there's like an icon that shows how many people like are in the
Or
stream,
watching.
versus being part of the stream. So there's us three right now, but nobody's joined in yet. So I was just throwing links around. Hey,
Okay.
Hey Clint, just an idea. Do you think on your USA group, do you want to put like the actual link and then put like at everyone and see if that will?
I will see what it does.
Yeah, I don't know, because then people will be like, oh, they'll get notified. I can send you the link, or I'll send you the link for it.
Because what we can do, like if you start over, right?
Yeah.
We can actually do the introduction
Well, I
with
know
me with us three, and then you can keep the video up.
people have to come in. No, it's we're good, Sean. We're good.
Okay.
So the live's on. It's running. It's just no one's jumped in yet.
No, but what I mean is like you're gonna have to take down the live after.
Well, yeah, I know we can cut it down with this software. I can cut it down, so I can cut down the part of it
Okay, so do you want to do an introduction? Okay.
once people start joining. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you could just be like, yo, I'm on a live with Quad Squad. And then just put like add everyone with the link or something.
Mm-hmm. Let me see something. It didn't give me
2:16 p.m.
It didn't give me a notification that you went live. Hold on a second.
True.
Did you delete? Because
I deleted the first one, and then there
Oh.
should be another one, and it says,
okay, let me see something.
Create shorts selected. Comes out of the box. Add
Let's see.
set new brief pops. Yachtis rep pop shop night red into live entity. Tommy's exit search notifications. For unseen items.
Okay.
Back button.
All right, I'm ready to post it. You want me to see what happens?
yeah.
Select comment. Mention your channel. Important. New notification for an only uploaded. Time.
Do you want to see what happens?
New notification. Comment. Mention your channel. Important. New notification video icon today. Heading. New notification. What's what uploaded. My life changed forever. Starting with a super fine moment in Costa Rica. Flag of Costa Rica. Hashtag quadriplegic. New notification 420.
Did you get a notification?
Unconditional.
No, I didn't even get a
notification.
Nightlife in Thailand
Yeah, I see it now.
17 hours ago. New notification 420 John. New notification what's what up.
Yeah, I got it.
Previous video button. Pause video. Like this video along with 5 other people. Like this video along with unselected. Unlike. Dislike
Okay,
you. Share
there we
this
go.
greetings. Next, tap to watch. Tap to watch live.
Okay, so now you're live. This is tap to watch live.
Tap to
Yeah.
watch live. Button. Tap to watch live. Live chat. Edit.
This is tap to watch live. So how many does this show you? So how many does it show you?
That's why I'm plugged in.
Top messages. Open captions. Welcome to live chat. Learn more.
Hey Sabrina,
Send, emote, dictate.
can you come plug in this microphone?
Yes, sir. Nick is in the building.
Sir Nick is in the building. Dictate.
So unplug it from the 360 camera and plug it into the microphone.
Hey, Sabrina.
Hello.
That one, yep. No, you got it.
This one?
Yeah, unplug that and put it into the microphone.
Microphone.
The one that's hanging in your face.
This one?
Unplug, yeah. Unplug
Unplug?
from there, yeah.
Then
No, just the cord.
just the cord. Yeah. And then where is
At the
the
back of the microphone.
So it says 2 people watching right now,
I
Nick.
know. I know.
Mhm.
So at the back of it right there, yeah.
okay? Wait. Only one
There you
thing.
go.
Yeah, that's it.
Bingo.
Oh, sorry.
Man.
No, it's okay, Sabrina.
All right. What up? Let's see what's going on.
So 2 watching. I'm one of them, obviously now.
Okay.
The one that's watching, is it your friend Clint, or
No,
it doesn't tell you, right?
it should show. 1 sec. Let me see. I want to see if I can. Okay, comments. There we go. There's a few comments. So let's
Be
see.
patient, people. This is my friend's first time going live on YouTube.
Yeah.
What up? What up? Quad Squad, Sheldon the Blind Traveler, Clint from Georgia is in the building.
What up?
What up?
Okay. So we got 3 people now.
3 people in the building.
Got 3 people.
3 people in the building. Leave a comment
Yeah.
and let us know where you're from.
Yeah.
Where you viewing the live from?
Yeah. What,
Country, town, city, state.
what you want to know.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Okay, we're getting somewhere now.
Yeah. So perfect. So pretty much when you're pretty much telling people to like leave a comment, let them
Yeah.
know where they're from. Try to see if they're leaving any comments like, "Hey, I'm from, Canada, whatever, from the States."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just do this. Okay, let me pull this back up and then close my other window. Okay, so let's pull this out of here. Make this its own window. And then we're gonna minimize that. And then we're gonna go big size.
Here, I'll start the wave.
I guess, you know how long do we just, what do you think? We wait for like
Yeah,
how many,
20 minutes.
I don't know, yeah. How many people get in here and then do.
Yes,
Squad. All right. What up, everybody?
One love from Canada.
Chat. Let's see this.
Canada.
Let me see this.
Tell me if you saw that comment.
Yeah, I saw the comment.
Okay, cool.
Yo, let's see. All right. Yo, peoples.
So how many people are in there now?
Just 2. Well, yes, one, and I think I'm one of. I joined on my phone now.
Oh,
Watching. Let's see this. 2 viewers. 1 hour. I don't know.
So what we can do then, we can just do a quick little introduction and we'll just chat, all 3 of us, for maybe like 10, 15 minutes. And then we can just end it there, I guess. And you can delete the first half of us just rambling and keep the part of us doing an introduction.
Sounds good.
So tell me when you're ready. I'll go 3, 2, 1, then you do your introduction.
Okay.
All right. 3. Tell me when you're ready.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
All right. What's up, everybody? It's Quad Squad, and it's Sheldon, the Blind Traveler.
What's going on?
Yeah, and then we got Clint Cook. What up, Clint?
Atlanta, Georgia. What's up,
Yeah.
people?
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
What's going on? All right. So
We are live.
we are live. We are live. What up? All right. So yeah, so first time going live, I just thought I put something a little together because I was kind of thinking, I'm gonna make a video about it, what I was going to do, it just ended up being such a long video, and I wasn't sure what people wanted me to address and stuff like that. So I just thought, I put together a live, tell you guys what I did, where I went, what I went with, what our favorite things were, the downsides, the upsides, the difficulties, all that shit. And go from there. So yeah, so basically, yeah, I mean, and you guys can ask your questions,
I got a question.
what's your
I got a question for both of you guys, Clint and you, Nick.
All right.
I want to know the pros and cons of traveling when you guys went to Costa Rica.
I mean, I guess the biggest pro is, getting out of your comfort zone, getting out there, because I always wanted to travel, but I never actually went and traveled because it just kind of seemed like such a huge obstacle to like plan, do, and like whenever I was getting my like personal quotes, like it would just be outrageously expensive. So I was just like, which was the beautiful thing about going with the group was that, it made it somewhat affordable and stuff. And, it, when I knew I was going with other people who have traveled before, I was like, let's do it, but yeah, I mean, that's the biggest pro is, getting out there, doing something different and experiencing the world, what was your favorite pro about it?
Yeah, no doubt. So I am just the opposite of Nick as far as my travel experience as a wheelchair user. I've been in a chair for 35 years and have traveled extensively with my career and sports for about 31 of those years. So I've traveled a lot, air travel, different hotels, different settings, accessible, not accessible, that kind of stuff. The cons for me, for real, were, and I know I said this, Nick, when we were on the trip, was seeing you, dude, to seeing someone that has never traveled before, higher level quad power chair, do exactly the same thing that three other guys in manual chairs did. We all did the same thing. You didn't miss anything that you did. Every single thing that we did every single thing that you did. Impressive on your side to be honest with you, but also impressive on the group Will the World to be able to pull that off.
Yep.
That's definitely the con. I mean, the pro for me. I don't even have a con, dude. I don't have a con at all about our trip at all. The only con that I have is that, maybe we didn't get to actually hold the monkeys instead of just watch them.
Yeah, I would say for me, I've been traveling for the past 3 years, and I've been to 15 countries, and I would definitely say the pros outweigh the cons for me. The first time I traveled, I went to the DR, to the Dominican Republic, and I literally felt this huge weight just lift off of my shoulders. A lot of people didn't think, it would be a good idea for me to travel because I can't see. Even to this day, people ask me, why do you travel if you can't see? And, like these people need to understand it. People need to understand that, I have two hands. I have my ears, I have my taste buds. And when I was in the Dominican Republic, I just knew I was in a different country just by the air quality, the food, the language, the culture. Like those things definitely outweigh the cons. I may not be able to see the scenery, but I can touch it. I can feel it, right? Like that country is literally like I don't know if you guys ever heard of tactile, like the tactile, like the like braille on the corner of like the intersections. Yeah, it's kind of like that, right? Like when you're in a different country, you feel, you know what I mean? Like you touch and you smell, and like I love traveling, man. And so the pros definitely outweigh the cons for me.
To that, no, I definitely relate. And man, like I swear, once I went, I got that travel bug in me. Now all I want to do is travel.
Good.
It was a really great experience. It was like it was exciting getting up to it, but then, at the same time, you got a little bit of anxiousness to like, how's it going to go? Is it going to work? Is it going to be smooth? Is it going to be, we're going to hit problems? But realistically, like Clint said, Wheel the World did a really good job with planning that out. I was impressed, and just Costa Rica in general was pretty accessible. I mean, like it's kind of like the country thinks about that, like when they're doing things or building things, it's like they think of that first, and then because like wherever you go, there was a ramp. But I mean, we might have gotten a little bit of a privileged access and not seen the like.
We did.
Yeah.
We for sure did. But you stayed behind for a couple of days, and you didn't have that security of having a guide and a group of people. So did you see the same thing outside of our group that it was
Yeah.
pretty accessible?
To a point, so like Tamarindo was great, like when we left San Jose and we went out to Tamarindo, there was a restaurant on the way that was accessible, all open
Nice.
concept and stuff, and it was really cool. And then, when we got into Tamarindo is realistically, it's pretty accessible. I mean, like there is curbs to get up into buildings and stuff like that. But the biggest downside of Costa Rica is the roads are pretty rough. It's like here in Canada, when you go on a road, you're on paved road and you can get anywhere with your wheelchair.
Right.
But there, it's like a lot of dirt road. Like for example, when we got to the villa there, the villa that we were staying at was up like it was downtown Tamarindo, but the road to get to the villa, which was only from like the main strip, it was only like a 2-minute drive up the road to get to the villa. And basically that 2 minutes of road to get up to the villa was so bad, there was no way I was going over it with my power wheelchair.
Right.
So I needed a wheelchair accessible vehicle just to get from my villa 2 minutes down the road. So I mean, but I guess we just went through the rainy season, so I mean, maybe it's better at different seasons. But in general, with Tamarindo, I mean, when I was looking out the side of the windows and stuff, there was ways to get to the beach. There was ways to get into the shops and stuff like that. And yeah, and like I'm thinking that if I was to get something down there, I'd get like a golf cart and then like modify it so I just drive my wheelchair up on the golf cart and then just rip it around.
I'm excited for you to get a place down there, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I went and looked at a couple places down there, and yeah, it was. I'm about it. I'm about it. But I guess there's a few things going on here that it's like just adding more shit to my plate. I don't think I can handle right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so I guess, yeah. So I mean, should we just like go through like what we did and stuff like that, and go through?
I think so, man. I mean,
Yep.
if you want to go, I'll just piggyback off of you. I'm your guest. I'm a guest, dude. So
Okay.
I'll just piggyback off of you and
let it rip.
add
All
stuff
right.
here and there.
All right, so I did yeah, so basically, so day one, let me see. Oh yeah, I did so me personally, I flew in a day before everybody because I wanted to get the most out of my 6 days. So I came in at the night the day before, flew out, So the flying there, the plane ride, first time on a plane, 6 hours on a plane, from the Canada side over to the Costa Rica side, it was good. It was good, but it was not super smooth. I mean, Air Canada knew I was coming, knew I was in a chair. They had the aisle chair. They got me on the aisle chair. They get me into the airplane. They loaded me first. You got me in my spot. Ultimately, it was a pretty painful fly over there. I won't lie about that. But I mean, I kind of expected that, and I also didn't really take into consideration that you should definitely air down your cushion a bit if you're going to be sitting on that Rojo cushion the whole flight, because when you go up in the air, I guess air expands. So I made my seat kind of hard. But they had good people there. They lift me fine. I didn't hit the ground. They took care of me. They were positioned me well. I got over to Costa Rica. It took about 6 hours to fly there. Ultimately, it was good. I mean, in economy, I mean, I might try to like upgrade to premium economy or first class next time if I can find a way of doing that without paying an arm and a leg. Because like the other thing about sitting on a Rojo cushion on an airplane is that the pillow is like forcing your head forward because you're sitting so high up on the seat. So that was one downside of it. But yeah, and then I got into Costa Rica, and basically, so I got there, and like they had this problem with the fact that they didn't bring my power wheelchair to me at the airplane, and before they even had the wheelchair, they put me on the aisle chair and took me to the front of the plane. And I'm like, "Where's my chair?" Like, "Oh, we're still trying to get it." I'm like, "Why would you take me off the chair if you didn't have my chair?" So then I
That
was
must have been painful.
Oh, it was real bad because those aisle chairs were real painful. And they had me sitting on there for like 20 minutes, and I'm like, "Bro, you guys got to figure something out. Where's my chair?" They're like, "Oh, it's at the baggage carousel." I'm like, "How long is it gonna take it to get here?" And they're like, "Oh, maybe like half an hour." I'm like, "Just take me there, put me in a different manual chair, and take me down there because I can't sit in this thing anymore." So we did that. We got down there. The wheelchair came up, and then my motors wouldn't turn on. So my mom's fiddling around with the motors on it, and eventually we just need to power cycle, and then it was working again. And at this point, it's like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. And anyway, so then we're going through the part where they scan your bags once more, and we got through, and then we had to give the documentation for my service dog. And yeah, supposedly we didn't have the right paperwork, even though we did our research and we did our made sure I went to see my vet. I made sure he's got all the vaccinations. I did all of that. And basically, long story short, they're like, "Oh, you only needed this one piece of paper and you don't have it. You're gonna have to fly back to Canada and then come back with them after seeing your vet." And my mom was like almost tearing, like she started tearing up. She's like, "Are you kidding me? Like that's not gonna happen." So we gave him all the paper we had, the paper like my vet, the document, all that stuff. Long story short, after half an hour, they talked to their manager and they let us in, but they told us we were going to have to go see a vet in Costa Rica in order to bring the dog back with us. So, I mean, no matter how much work I did put into that, now I know for next time, what I need to have done to make sure that there's no hiccups next
Mhm.
time. But eventually we got there, and then, yeah, we had what's his name? Our tour guide picked us up at
Yeah.
the airport. And then, yeah, took us out to the Bougainvillea. The transit was a little sketchy because the ramp was real steep, and I have the
Right.
pin in my chair, and freaking my pin got stuck at the top of the ramp, and I had to like rock it and like get in there. It was sketch, but we got there, and then yeah, it was good. It was good. We chilled the night. The following day we drove around a little bit. Bougainvillea, there's not really anything close to it, so there
Mhm.
wasn't really a lot to do that day. We just kind of hung out, filmed some stuff in the back of it, and then yeah, and then what's the name got there? The other quad that with the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ryan.
Ryan got there. They chilled that day, and then you got there at the end of the. Did you get there at the end of the night? Yeah,
I think I got in. My flight got in at like 6:50. It was about 8 o'clock. I think 7:30 when I got to the hotel.
true that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, and then we all kind of had some dinner, chilled, and then went to bed. And then the following day was when the real vacation started.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we had like a big coach bus. Kind of felt pretty privileged with it. Big
I,
huge
I
windows.
I felt a little bit like Metallica or some kind of rock
Yeah,
band. It was
yeah,
pretty,
like a little movie
like it
star.
wasn't just a normal coach van. Like this thing was badass. It was very nice.
It was huge, beautiful windows.
Yep.
Nice air conditioning. Got a wheelchair accessible lift on the side of it that pops out. Um, yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then yeah, so then we started going around, and the first interesting fact that our tour guide told us about is that Costa Rica doesn't have a military. They don't have an army. Like
Yeah.
they abolished it back in 1980. They're just like we're not going to be a country that rules by power and force.
It's one of the safest Latin countries in the world.
Yeah, and so that was cool. That was cool. And then told us about coffee, and how as we were driving to the zoo animal rescue center,
Hmm.
went there, and that was a really cool place. Saw a lot of cool animals, a lot of cool things. Yeah, the restaurant there was really good. They made some really good food. Yeah, I mean that was a really cool place. Bunch of lizards, birds, frogs, monkeys. We saw more monkeys in Manuel Antonio than there, but
Oh yeah,
there's
right.
Yeah.
no, that part of the trip for me was really cool. I mean, and we'll just go back a little bit. Um, you can do all the groundwork. You can research. You can let the airlines know you're coming. You can find out from the vet what paperwork you need for your service animal. At the end of the day, things might just get screwy, and those are the things that we have to keep in mind about air travel and traveling, but mostly the air part of it. That's usually
Yep.
the more difficult part of traveling
Yep.
is the airfare, the air travel part. So
Yep.
we just have to know, dude, things are going to happen.
Yep.
And we just have to try to overcome every obstacle we can in the most direct manner.
Yep.
Wow.
That.
Can I share my experience in Costa Rica?
Yeah, go for it.
So, as a blind traveler, what up, everybody? Sheldon, the blind traveler in the building. When I went to Costa Rica last year, March, I went to Jaco Beach. We call it Jaco Beach, but they call it Jaco Beach. And I flew into San Jose, and I stayed at the Best Western hotel for a week, all inclusive, and they had a shuttle bus pick us up at the San Jose airport. I was actually by myself, but there was a group of Canadians that were there that were staying at the same hotel. And the first stop we did on the way to the hotel, we stopped off at that crocodile place.
Yeah.
What is it called again? Because you said you were there.
The river
With all the crocodiles in the bridge, right?
Yeah.
So I had a really nice chicken sandwich there, and they
That
asked
was
if anybody
was actually a crocodile sandwich.
I hope not. Yeah. So after
It just tastes like chicken.
yeah, I've actually had crocodile meat before at a restaurant in Toronto called Big Daddy's.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually good, and it does taste like chicken. So after we ate, we ended up at the hotel, and the next day my friend came down. My friend who works for Air Canada came down, and he spent a couple of days with me to help me because this was actually my first time traveling, as a blind person. And the hotel was definitely accommodating. They were definitely hospitable. The food was good. I went to the Cacao Casino in Jaco Beach, went out to a few clubs, went to that national park that you were talking about. What's it called? Manuel
Antonio?
Yeah, Manuel Antonio National Park. I got to go horseback riding. Man, I'll never do that again. That was intense. And got to swim in the falls. And I got to feed some white-faced monkeys there.
Yeah, that's what we saw.
Yeah. But one thing, my friend left 3 days before I was supposed to leave. And in that 3 days, I actually went. Okay, so I did do the excursion, but I didn't go out. I didn't leave the hotel at all, like after my friend left, because it was my first time traveling by myself as a blind person.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to follow my stomach. Like when you have that feeling in your stomach, like should I go out?
Gut?
Yeah, like I had that feeling in my gut not to go out by myself, for the first time in Coast, even though it's safe, but I just had that gut feeling. So I stayed in a hotel. I did one excursion when my friend left, and I stayed in a hotel for the rest of the remaining time that I was there. And I had a really good time in Costa Rica.
True that.
That's been one of my favorite countries so far out of the 15 countries I've traveled to. So I definitely recommend Costa Rica, and it's very, very safe.
Yeah. No, 100%. And then where else did we go? Then I guess we drove out to La Fortuna then.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then that was the most scenic drive I have ever seen in my life. That was, man, the curvy roads, the up the huge mountains, the down the huge mountains. The views are like breathtaking.
Yep, absolutely.
And that was like one thing that made that whole like tour bus like feel so like you're a rock star, because you got huge windows, you got amazing driver, and we're getting like little tips and like lessons on Costa Rica as we're driving. So that was really cool. It was a long drive, but it was a beautiful drive. So I
What?
didn't really actually.
What? That's the night we went to the hot springs, right? Was that the first?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think yeah. So then we on the way we stopped for like was it there? We stopped for the bathroom break at
Mhm.
like this little shoppy place on top of the mountain, and then then we went to the hot springs. That was really cool. It wasn't really like, they with Wheel the World they had all the equipment that I needed. They had the commode, they had the beach chair, they had the lift. They supplied all of that for no extra cost for whatever cost you're
Mhm.
paying.
So you even
Uh,
had a Hoyer lift, right, for your rooms?
Yeah, exactly. And when we got there, there wasn't really like a set plan on how we were gonna do this, but I was just like, okay, we were gonna wing it. And I wasn't sure if I was gonna need a sling or whatever. But honestly, we ended up just, it started raining too. So then, we didn't really have a lot of time to like think about it and plan. We're just like, okay, let's just do it, let's just pick me up, put me in the beach chair, they roll me in, and then I'm like floating in the beach chair. I'm like, this isn't fun. I'm not in the water, you know? And I'm like, I need to get out of here. How do I get out of this thing? And they're like, oh, well, we could flip you over. I'm like, you know what? Just move my legs to the side, and I'll see if I can force myself off of this. And we put my legs to the side. I grabbed the bar and I started like trying to slide myself over, and I went face first in the water. I just like somersaulted in, and I was like, at first I was like, don't panic, Nick. Someone will bring you up. Someone will bring you up. And I
It
just
wasn't
like,
deep. Was it deep?
no, it was like deep enough that you could sit on the floor and like it would be like up to your chin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I flipped, and then like our tour guy like flipped me back over, and then they put a tube, a little
A noodle.
a
Yeah.
noodle under my arms, and we just floated around and chilled.
Yep.
It was really awesome. It's the first time I've actually ever like actually floated, just free floated in water, and was able to control my body and put myself in sitting, put myself in floating, swimming around and stuff. It was a really, really cool experience.
Yeah.
And like I wasn't, because the plane put me in so much pain, I was like, you know what? I'll do anything to get into hot water because I know my hot tub helps with my pain. I was like, I'll do anything to get into that hot water. So, I wasn't like concerned about how to get in there. All I knew is I need to get in there, So we figured it out. It was a good experience. And it was cool that it was raining at the same time.
Man, I know, dude. I was telling someone today, like that's the only time besides one of the last nights when we went to the restaurant that it
Yep.
rained on us and it poured and the rainwater was cold and the hot springs was hot. I mean, it was just a perfect mixture. It was incredible.
That's true. That's very true. And
How
then
was the weather for you guys down there?
it was good. It was good. It did rain at times, but it never
It
rained
never got us.
when we needed it to not rain.
Yep.
Whenever we needed it to not rain, it didn't rain. And then as soon as we get into the bus, that's when it started raining.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
like when
pretty
we were
wild.
then when we had the bridge tour, because then that night we went back to the volcano La Fortuna, place. We stayed there that night, and then the following day we went to the swinging bridge tour, like nature walk thing, and that was really great. It was really great, and like with that one, it started raining right as we finished, and like I was able to get one drone out and get just one drone footage, and then get it back just in time for us to get it and get in the bus, and then it started pouring. It was like,
Yeah, because it even gave us time to eat lunch and everything.
yep,
And then as we were getting on the bus, man, I mean, it started pouring down rain.
yeah. And the great,
Um,
like the cool thing about it was we were never rushed with anything. Like we always
no,
had the perfect amount of time for every single thing. You
yep,
know,
yep, they did a great job with that. And one of the things that I thought was pretty unique about that part of our trip was without even us as manual wheelchair users asking for a scooter, they already had those three scooters reserved for the three guys that were manual wheelchair users.
yep,
I think Ryan and Greg both might have been able to push around that. Dude, I can't. I've gotten a little age on me, and my level of injury. I might have been able to get through it, but I would have been worn out.
it's true.
So having those scooters available made that part of the trip for me very enjoyable, rather
Yep,
than being absolutely miserable.
yep, yeah. No, I feel you there. Yeah, no, that was really cool. Um, and go through that whole place was pretty awesome. You know,
How was your surfing experience? I know you uploaded a short of you surfing.
that was that was awesome. That was really awesome. You know, um, well, first, so about the swinging bridge tour. So going through all that place, it was really awesome. The start of the whole trail is really rough, but eventually once you get past a certain point where it's no longer like stone, like stones with holes, then it was pretty smooth all the way through. It was all paved, and but the sketchiest part was coming across that bridge at the end. Oh my god!
So you cannot lean to one side or the other at all
Yeah,
without you feeling like you're just gonna fall right over, dude. I
yeah.
mean, it's sketchy.
It's real sketchy. And like we let my service dog go first because, I'm really glad we did that because he would have not gone well with me. But, he kept like doing this like weird walk because he didn't like the metal and he was making the whole thing rock. And I'm like, I can feel my wheelchair slipping a little bit. And I'm like, I'm not moving another inch until that dog gets off this bridge.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I
god.
was scared. I was terrified,
So yeah, I was in front of you and your mom as a service dog,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to take videos of, I'm moving forward trying to take videos from behind us,
Yeah.
and your mom was just trying to keep the dog calm, and you're just back there, you're just kind of frozen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that thing's high, man. That bridge is
Oh
high.
my god, that's so high. And it doesn't stay still, And it's like, and then at one point I was like, it's gonna be a lot less scary to just keep going forward than it is gonna be to try to start backing up, And I was like, just keep going, Nick, just keep going. And like my 360 camera didn't film the whole time, but
Oh wow.
I did get the footage on my phone.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was sketchy, but it was still good. So then that was that for that. I got plenty of footage for that place. It's gonna take a lot of time to edit all the footage I
Yeah,
got for
no,
all the
well.
places. But yeah, and then from that, what did we do after that? Did we go? We went back to the hotel after that, or did we
Yeah,
go?
so we had lunch that day. Was that the night that we had the cooking class?
Oh yeah, yeah. So I think we did the swing. Yeah, we did the swing in, and we did the lunch there, and then we went out. I think. Yeah, I think we went back to the hotels for a little bit, and then we went to the cooking class. I think.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah. So the cooking class was really cool.
Where were you guys cooking?
So yeah, so like it was like a little mini farm,
Okay.
and they do a lot of like essential like medicinal things and like just fruit and vegetables and stuff like that. And yeah, and then they took us all the way through like you know the farm and what they do and what's medicinal, what's not, what you should avoid, what you should eat, what this helps with and what this helps with, and then told us about the sugar cane and got people to take a drink of moonshine, and and then showed us how they like squeeze out the juices of the sugar cane, and all those things. There was a lot of interesting information. It's a little cute thing that was doing the whole tour.
Yeah.
She was a cute thing.
She was really cute.
Yeah, and then they showed us how to cook, how to make pita. Was it? Yeah, I think pita bread or something.
Man, I said there were no cons about the trip at all, but the food, Nick, you and I we're the same on there. I'm fine with a hot dog and a hamburger, rice and beans and lettuce that's organic and whatever it was. I'm not impressed with all that. Just
Yeah,
give me
no,
a
I
taco or some spaghetti or a hot dog.
yeah, I can relate. I can relate. I am a little bit proud of myself for trying a few things
You
there.
did?
You
Oh
know,
yeah, absolutely, you did.
yeah, but yeah, it wasn't quite my type of food. But everywhere we went, we still at least had something to eat. The only place I did not eat at all was at the hot springs because all they had was like seafood,
Oh yeah, that's
and
right. Yeah,
I'm not a seafood guy.
yeah.
Yeah, but it was you're right. It was
Yeah, the
good.
first thing I did when I got back to Georgia is I went right to a Waffle House and had bacon
Fried
and
chicken and
eggs
waffles.
and grits and hash browns and raisin toast.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah, that was good.
Have you been to Roscoe's?
I don't know if we have that here.
Okay, it's fried chicken and waffles.
True.
Oh, so I know we have similar restaurants like that. I don't know if it's the same
Yeah.
companies or franchises.
Yeah, and then I guess after that day, that was good. Oh, and we had like a little happy birthday celebration for the tour
Yep,
guide.
yep.
Because it was his
That was
birthday, and he
nice.
was spending with us, so we had a little cake for him. That was cool. Um, and then the following day we went out to Manuel Antonio. We had breakfast at the hotel. We chilled, and then we got all packed up, ready to go. And then we started the drive to Manuel Antonio. And so we stopped for lunch on the way. Lunch was good. And then we got over to Manuel Antonio. It was a little bit of a long drive,
Yeah.
but ultimately it was pretty good. Um, Beautiful sights, beautiful. Manuel Antonio is like very hilly, and it was really cool, like all the views that you see and stuff. And and then we went to the Badada or what San Bada, however you
Uh-huh.
want to say it, hotel. It was a cool hotel. It had a wheelchair accessible pool. I didn't go in it, but it had it. The rooms were nice. They were pretty accessible. And and it was right beside the Manuel Antonio Resort. I mean, National Park, like literally connected, like
Yeah.
next to it, which was convenient. And then so that was a good night. That good day. Did we? So we just got there, and then did we have dinner there? What did we do?
You guys went out to dinner that night. I had sushi at the hotel,
Okay.
and then that next morning's when we did the national park,
Yep.
and then we surfed after that. Right? We surfed
True.
we surfed that same day.
Yeah. So we went to the national park, drove all through that. That was really cool. Got a lot of footage of that. It was accessible. They got this like they're making like bridges and like beach things so that
Hmm.
out of bottle caps so that you can get on most of the beaches in Costa Rica, which is cool. Saw a bunch of animals and wildlife and stuff. And then on the way back, once we got all the way through, we turned around and came back. That's when we saw all the monkeys.
All the monkeys, yeah.
So many
That was
monkeys.
that was awesome, dude. Like
Yeah.
we just basically turned the corner and these monkeys were they were all over the place. And they
Yeah.
were just I don't know. Literally one of my favorite parts of the whole thing was that moment that we had with the wildlife and
Yeah.
those monkeys right
Yeah. One of them tried to steal stuff out of my mom's bag at one
there.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful of that down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like there's like one that's a decoy and they'll come up to
Yeah.
you and you'll be
One's
looking
at
at
the
that.
door.
And then the other one will reach in your
One's back
bag and
going.
like try to steal shit. Yeah. Yeah. That was one of the best times. And and we me and Clint got to know each other pretty well going through that place. Had a great talk.
Yep.
And then after that we went back to the hotel room, chilled for I think 10 minutes while we got ready to go to the beach,
Yep.
to go surfing. And so we went to the beach and we did some surfing, which was it was fun. It was fun,
Yeah, it's okay.
It was the biggest downside was getting the sand all up in your crotch.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Sand
because you're
Staying in
sitting.
wheelchairs, they just don't mesh well.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that part also. The surfing part is fun. It's nice to be out in the water. I would highly recommend it to anybody that ever wanted to try to get out.
Yeah.
For me, that part of the trip was made simply by the instructor. That dude was like straight out of Ridgemont High. Ridgemont the Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah.
Spicoli, just surfer dude, straight up, funny, tons of energy.
Yep.
His whole crew of instructors, the photographers, they
Yep.
just they didn't miss a beat, man. They just made us feel welcome at home, not like we were causing them a headache. Like they were
Yep.
there to work for us, and
Yep.
it showed. I mean, it literally showed, dude.
Yeah, 100%. They were really awesome. They were really, really awesome.
Yeah, when you told me that you were going to be going surfing,
I was like, how the hell is that going to happen?
yeah, I was like, I was like, what the fuck?
I was like, okay, good luck to you guys, but I'm
Yeah.
down. However you want to get me on that
Yeah,
surfboard,
yeah,
I'll go
yeah.
on the surfboard. But I can't envision how that's working.
right?
Yeah. But they made it work. You know, they
Yeah,
just they
absolutely,
pick
dude.
you up and they sit you on the board and he wraps around you and holds you like a seat.
Yeah.
And you know, and then a bunch of people put you out to the water and they make you ride waves.
And the waves were good size, dude. I mean, I've surfed before in Jacksonville, Florida,
Yeah.
and that part, that was fun too. But these were actually like waves that we were on. Like that was kind of cool.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really awesome. And
That's
then
awesome.
we chilled on the beach for a little bit.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a beach day.
Yeah, I got some good footage of the surfing and stuff.
Yep.
And then and then we went back and and then so me, Ryan, and what's his name?
Greg.
And Greg, they grabbed on the back of my wheelchair and I towed them back to the hotel. Yeah. So we went for a cruise around the long way up the actual paved road.
Yeah.
That was fun. And then then we just chilled. We chilled for a bit. You know, I got changed. I had a shower because I kind of had to get that sand out of my areas. And then and then we went to after all that went for a little. We chilled at the top of the roof for a little bit, and then we went out for dinner. And when we were driving into Manuel Antonio, we saw this really, really cool restaurant. It was like an airplane hangar with an airplane in it. My brother was like, "Oh, you got to go check out this place," you know. But it was at the top of a hill, and you know the roads are really windy. They weren't sure if they were going to get the bus that we were using up there. But you know, we said we wanted to go there, and you know, the bus driver and the tour guide, they made it happen, which was really awesome. And that was a beautiful view. That was the coolest restaurant by far that I've ever been to and we ever went to there.
Yeah, because you can see the mountains, the ocean. You know, we got to see a double rainbow. We had monkeys hanging out at the restaurant. The bar inside of the restaurant was an actual airplane. That restaurant was incredible. The food was great too. The server was super cool. I think one of the fun parts for me is that our tour guide does this so much. He knows the locals, you know, so they get to they play off of each other a little bit, and I don't know, it just made for a great experience. So that evening was super cool too.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll show some pictures after.
Yeah, I got to ask you guys this now.
Yeah,
this is a big question. You guys shared how accessible Costa Rica is, some parts, and you guys talked about the flights and how fun it is there. So the question is, would you guys live there? Because I know Costa Rica has a lot of expats that live there, and so that's my question. Would you guys live there?
I would not leave I would never. I'm a Canadian. I'm through and through Canadian. I'd buy something there for an investment a year, but no, I ain't leaving my country. I love Canada. Yeah, but I mean, if I was gonna buy anything anywhere, it would definitely be in Costa Rica. Just because there's just so much to do down there. There's so many places you can go to that aren't such a crazy far drive. Yeah. What about you, Clint?
I wouldn't. I couldn't leave the South. I'm a Southern boy.
Yeah.
That's where this is where my family is. So so it's a loaded question. Yes. Would I live there? Yeah, it's a cool place to live. I think it would be a fine place to live. But I'm not leaving my mama. No way, you know. My mom, my sisters, and nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
True
if my
that.
mama live with me, yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, true that. Yeah. Yeah. And
I would live there. Just maybe like 6 months out of the year. Kind of, you guys said, just visit.
True.
Get out of the cold. My friend's sister lives there, and she lives up in the mountains. And during rainy season, her house, like, she was up on a hill, and the hill collapsed, and she got stuck in her house for like a week. So they had to rescue. Yeah. So like the rainy season is not, it sucks down there when it's rainy season.
True.
But otherwise than that, it's a fun place to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a fun place to go to.
Yeah. So I mean, Manuel Antonio was awesome. It was a great experience. Surfing, all of that. The dinner there was amazing. It was, the airplane hangar restaurant we went to. They actually made me like a special hot dog with bacon and cheese and everything on it.
Dude, you're making me hungry.
Oh
right now,
man,
bro.
it was amazing. Like, cause I was just like, I want a hot dog, and they're like, do you want anything special? I'm like, maybe put some bacon, some cheese on there.
Oh,
And then he did it, and they did it amazingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. And then we went out for drinks that night after. I mean, I didn't drink, but we went out for drinks, and it was really good night. We tried to find the pretty girls that we went surfing with, but they were busy, so we didn't catch up with them. So we just went back to the same pace we went to for dinner the day before. Yeah, and we chilled there, and then we went home. Back to the hotel. Woke up in the morning, and and then we the following day was the day we left there. We left Manuel Antonio, and we started driving back out to San Jose. Oh wait, yeah. So back to San Jose. Went through Hako, saw Hako. Hako looked relatively pretty accessible, honestly.
Oh, it is beautiful surf town.
Yeah, out of all the places, I'd say that looked pretty accessible. The roads were good. There was actually sidewalks. I didn't see the whole place, but it's more developed. There's more condos. There's more this and that. Like, I wouldn't live in San Jose. I would live in Hako if I had to live there.
Yes.
But if I'm vacationing, I'm doing Tamarindo.
Yeah. I didn't see it, Clint, but I've definitely felt it.
Yeah,
I hear you.
Beautiful chicas everywhere.
Yeah. So what about the jungle boat?
Yeah, that was
Wow.
really awesome. That was really awesome. I was like, that was one of the days where I tried pasta, like chicken pasta, which was really good. And then we went on the boat, and it was a cool experience. I actually had a wheelchair accessible boat that you drive onto, and you drove all around the things, and it was really cool. It was very scenic.
Mhm.
The river was pretty polluted and dark, and a lot of garbage going through it. But I guess
So
that's
that's the last piece of water before it goes into the ocean. Everything that flows through Costa Rica ends up there.
Yep.
So it was murky and dirty. Wow, 15-foot and greater crocodiles.
Yep.
Crazy big crocodiles.
Crazy big crocodiles, lots of them. And then we saw, what was his name? We saw Christina Aguilera alligator, and then we saw.
Oh, for a second, I'm like, okay, you got me.
And then we saw, what was his name?
You told me Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson, that's the big one. Yeah, that was cool. We saw a freaking howling monkey.
He
was a loud guy.
Holler monkey, I think they
holler monkeys.
And it's like the second loudest animal or sound that's ever been recorded. And that thing was crazy. It was spooky.
Yeah.
And what our guide told us was that they generally travel in families, and this dude was alone. So they were kind of, it was a little sad because he was alone and probably looking for his family.
True.
But he was loud, dude.
That's true. Yeah.
He was just a little bitty thing. I mean, he wasn't, you would think he was like the size of a gorilla, but he was just a little bitty thing.
Yeah. And then, we drove back. We went back up the river, and the driver wouldn't give up until we found Mike Tyson. Yeah. He kept going looking for him. We found that massive crocodile. You don't find it every time, but we found it that time, which was cool. Wow. And then we went back. It was a little sketchy because we went up to the dock that was a little lower, and but they made it work. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get up that lip, but then I guess they found a way to make it so it came up, and then I just ran up on it, and it was a good time. And then I towed Clint back up to the top of the shop, and then
you did a lot of towing of Clint that whole week.
The benefits of having a buddy with a power.
Absolutely, dude. It was great. I appreciate you, brother.
No, 100%. And then they had accessible bathrooms there, so we all went to the bathroom before we left, and then then we drove out to San Jose, and then we just chilled that night. We went into the Radisson Park Inn, which was a nice place. and we had our last dinner there. Caught up, talked. Talked about our favorite parts. And yeah, and I mean, yeah, the food, yeah, I mean, my food was still uncooked.
I'm telling you,
So
dude.
I didn't,
I
I
couldn't
didn't,
live there, Sheldon, because of the food alone. No way.
yeah,
No way.
Yeah.
yeah,
I couldn't survive.
yeah.
Right. Right.
I can relate. Yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
Mhm.
And yeah, and it was good. It was a good night, And then we went out for coffee in the morning. Me, Greg, and the two other,
Yeah,
I
Ryan
don't know
and
where's
Sarah.
yeah, Ryan and Sarah went out to
Yeah,
this
'cause
cafe.
I had a 6 o'clock flight, so I left the hotel at like 5. I had a I left at
Mm,
4 or
nice.
something for a 7 o'clock flight.
True
Mhm.
I
that.
had to fly through Houston, a 4 hour layover in Houston back to Atlanta.
Yep,
It was about a 14-hour day for me to get home.
yep.
So
Wow.
long day, but at the end of it all, dang dude, it was so worth it. Every bit of it was great.
Nice.
Yeah, that's true.
That's awesome.
100%.
Hey, last question I want to ask you guys. So I have a friend that got shot in his back years ago from a shotgun, and he did a bunch of surgeries, and he ended up a quadriplegic.
Okay.
And yeah, like he doesn't leave his house at all. Last year, when I was working at the CNE, my friends, they literally had to like force him out the house to bring him to the Wu-Tang the Wu-Tang
Yep,
Clan concert last year.
yep.
And he had a good time, but he hasn't left the house since the concert. And I'm gonna share this video with him. So my question,
Dude, and I'll just be blunt, okay?
yeah,
It's the best way for me to describe my answer when I have this question. That's on him, dude. That's on him. That he's got to be the one that makes the decision to get up and get out. Um,
Yep,
it's out there, but it's not coming to you. You have to go to it.
yep,
Um, it's like physical rehab or any kind of uh, recovery. Whether it be addiction or anything. Solutions are out there, but you
yep,
have to go get it. It's not coming to you. The same thing for people with spinal cord injuries and any kind of mobility impairments.
like me being blind, I
Yeah,
know a
dude.
lot
I
of blind
mean,
people that are
you
scared to travel.
of course. So we can be, we can carry the message, and we can let people know it's available. But at the end of the day, they are the ones that have to get up out of bed
yep,
and get in their chair and go do it. And
yep.
I don't mean to sound like um, I
You,
don't
you
have a heart for people, or
Mhm.
that's just the facts. That's just how it is.
you hit the nail on the head. It's in NA. What we say is, you can't carry the addict. You can only carry the message.
Right?
You know,
Exactly. Yep.
Me and Clint can only carry the message that you can travel being a quad, you can travel doing this, you can have a good life, you can do rugby, you can do all of these things. You just have to want to do it. You have to prioritize. You know what? I'm tired of sitting in this chair doing nothing all day, every day. Being miserable with my life. I need to make a change, and you got to go out and you got to do it. There's support out there. You can ask people. There's groups like Clint's group on Facebook. You can ask people, how do I do this? How do I do this?
Mhm.
There's support there if you want it. You just have to get out and do it, and
Yeah.
make it a priority. Anything's possible. The shit that
Yep.
I've accomplished since being a quad, I never thought any of it would be possible. But, I've accomplished it all. I just get help along the way,
Yeah.
Um,
And a lot of times people will hold back doing activities because they don't think that it's going to be the same as doing it as an able body.
yep,
And sometimes they're right. Sometimes things are not exactly the same doing things from a chair, but still, like the whole hot springs experience, man, to
yep,
see you be lifted up out of your power chair
Nice.
onto that beach chair, pulled into the water, and you taking the initiative to
That's awesome.
swing your legs over to the side
Yeah.
and kind of force yourself just to fall in. I mean, what a great trick would have been for us to just go, oh, we're not picking them up,
Yeah.
But,
Inspiration at your best.
you got those noodles underneath you, and like you said, dude, you sat around with us just like we were with each other, just as normal, just just 4 people with spinal cord injuries just hanging out in hot springs.
Yep. True
You hit
that.
the nail on the head, Clint. 12 years ago, I was talking to a friend on the phone, and he actually yelled at me, and he told me, like, I'm tired of hearing you complain about everything. He said, don't expect a job, girlfriend come knocking on your door. Get off your fat ass.
Right?
That's what he said, and do something about it. And it was harsh, man. But the
Sure.
next
Oh,
day,
it is.
I grabbed my white cane, and here I am, sitting with Clint and Nick, traveling the world, baby.
I love it, dude.
Yes, sir.
True that, man.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it, Yeah. And yeah, and then basically, so I had the experience of doing it with a group, and it gave me it got me to tip my toes into it and love it, and feel comfortable with it. And then I extended 3 days after. We drove down to Tamarindo, stopped for dinner, went to Tamarindo. It was a great experience. So I had a three bedroom, 2 bathroom villa with a private pool. And we asked the villa that we were renting. We asked them if they knew any like swim instructors or people that could help me carry me into the pool so I could get in the pool. And they found a swim instructor that lived in town, and he met us there. And and he helped me and my mom and him. They carried me into the pool, and honestly, that was probably one of my other favorite parts about it, is because I did like aqua therapy. I was able to walk in the pool. I was able to swim in the pool. The freedom it gives your body being in water, it's mind blowing.
Mhm.
Like I just wanted to get in the pool and like float around. And then, having a swim instructor there and stuff. And, I just started putting my feet down to the ground and taking steps, one step at a
That's
time.
incredible.
And I was like, holy shit, this is so much easier than walking in physio.
Right?
Yeah,
No
that's
doubt.
And I could do it independently. All I need is a noodle around my arms, and I can walk, and it made me realize that, I should really prioritize aqua therapy. I always looked into it, I was
right.
going to do it, but, actually experiencing it and then being totally comfortable with it, it was like, holy crap. And then, yeah, so I did that the first day there. We chilled the rest of the night, made some food. Oh well, we went over to the Dragonfly restaurant, which was across the street from our villa. Best steak I've ever had in the world. Honestly, out of all the restaurants and all the steaks my mom made, best steak I've ever had. It was called the Dragonfly Bar and Grill in Tamarindo. Man, it was accessible, at a ramp, had an accessible bathroom and stuff. It'd be hard to get there because of the road if you were staying in Tamarindo. But they might fix the entrance to the road. You never know. But that was really good. Then the following day I went and drove around because I rented a vehicle, a wheelchair accessible vehicle with a driver for 3 days past the group tour. It was 300 US a day. And yeah, so that way, so that on the second day in Tamarindo, I could drive around and look at properties and stuff like that. Which is what I did. It was hot there, really hot, but it was good. Saw a bunch of properties, drove around, and then and then we stopped at the supermarket, got some food to cook at home that night, because the thing about there is that like that whole country is run by tourism. So if you go out to restaurant, you're paying the same price as you're paying in Canada or in the US by going to a restaurant. So 2-3 people, you're at $60 easy. So like you can go there and be on a budget, but you have to cook your food and buy your food at the market,
Yep.
So that's what we did for that night. And then I went swimming again. The instructor came back out, and I did walking and stuff like that a lot more. I filmed it all, so there'll be a video coming out on that. That was really awesome. We chilled. It was a beautiful villa, beautiful villa, and it was like a set of 5 houses all in one compound, but it was all private. It gave me great ideas for what I'm gonna do down
Yeah,
there.
man.
And they were all accessible, everything. The pools weren't accessible. You just need someone to pick you up and put you in there. But when I do it down there, I'm definitely gonna make the pools accessible and stuff. But yeah, so that was a great experience. Following day, what did we do? Following day was the last day we were there, so we kind of packed up. I flew the drone a couple times around Tamarindo. kind of see what it looks like there. We had to go to the vet. We took Wakely to the vet the first day. No, the second day we were there. My mom took him in the morning so that we could get all the paperwork. We're glad we did that day because they only work Monday to Fridays, and like we were like 2 days away from leaving, so we got it like just in the nick of time. Yeah, I'm gonna make a video about bringing a service dog traveling. Guys, let me know if you want to see that down in the comments. You guys hit some comments. Let us know what you're liking, what you want to know. And yeah. Anyways, besides that, then we drove back to San Jose. It was a long drive because there's a lot of traffic, and we blew a tire on the way back, which sucked. But I was smelling burnt rubber all the way back because we had to put the burnt tire in the back. Which is downside, but yeah, it was all right. We got home, back to San Jose pretty late. And then, yeah, went to sleep, woke up in the morning, went to the airplane place, where the place where you fly. And then, we got there.
Airport.
Yeah. And like, yeah, so they were prepared for me for that flight. Like they were going to load me first, but there was a delay, when we were supposed to leave at 9. Ended up getting pushed until 12, and then 2, and then canceled.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was kind of shitty. So then we're like, oh shit, what are we doing? I don't have a lift. I don't have this. I don't have that. Are we going to be staying in an accessible room, etc.? All of these things. It was kind of unknown, but I guess Air Canada kind of took care of us. The biggest downside was that it took them 3 hours to get us an accessible shuttle to get to the hotel, which was only like 5 minutes down the road. I didn't have an accessible room or a lift, but we made do. Like we had my PSW and my mom, we just helped me do like a pivot transfer onto the bed. So we made it work, chilled. And yeah, I went to try to go to a casino there. So where the hotel was, there was a casino right next door. So I went to try to go to the casino, and I was like, should I bring the dog or whatever. He's a service dog. He's allowed everywhere in. So I went over to the casino, and they wouldn't let me in because I had the dog. Yeah. So they've got written in their like rules that you're allowed to have a service dog there, but not everything has the same type of mentality on it. It's not like Canada and the US where you cannot deny one. Down there it's different. Like they're like, oh no, I'm like, but he's a service dog. No, we don't have permit, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, so I didn't go in the casino. I just went. I was like, you're not gonna let my dog in. I don't want to come in. So I went back. Went back to the airport the following day, and so now I kind of learned about the fact of, okay, what happens if you're in a wheelchair, you're a quad, and your plane gets canceled? How does that work? And now I know. Like I feel like I've learned everything I could possibly learn and what could possibly go wrong in a trip just in this one trip. So now it's like it's destroyed all of those concerns that I had. I know how to plan for it, what to do, and all this stuff. I learned a lot on this trip.
Yeah, you guys had a lot of obstacles. You really did, going there and coming back. And I'll tell you, man, that's how I learned how to do it. It's just trial and error, and it's just putting yourself out there. Not every trip's going to go as planned. I can almost guarantee you every trip is never going to go quite as planned. Whether it's finding a handicap parking spot at the airport, or having a wheel bent, or all the things that can happen during air travel. It happens, and just please don't let that stop you from trying. Get out there and do stuff, man. That's my best advice, is just to get out there and do it.
Yep. Yeah. And like, for example, like preparing to go, I just thought of all those things that could possibly happen and prepared for that. For example, like with my wheelchair, because a lot of them get broken on the transit, I brought an extra pivot arm for my powered joystick, so that if they break my joystick off, I've got that extra part. I brought an extra armrest in case they break that off. I brought these things that weren't too heavy, but would be beneficial, that if they broke it, I've got it. I just asked my wheelchair tech, you got some old like parts that I can borrow just in case it breaks? And he had no problem.
Did you bring a spare wheel?
I didn't bring a spare wheel
Okay,
because I
'cause-
don't have air in my tires. I have solid rubber.
Oh, okay.
But I did get my tires changed before I went so that my
Okay.
tread was better because
Yeah,
my tread was wearing down and I just wanted good tires when I was over there. So that's another thing I recommend. Don't forget your wheelchair charger. That's another one.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then a whole bunch of other things. But yeah, and it was an amazing experience. Eventually we got out. Eventually we flied back. The plane ride back wasn't as painful as the ride there because I kind of planned for it better, got in a better position. I aired down my cushion a little bit so it wasn't so hard. And it was good. I got back, and yeah, it was a really, really, really good trip. I
Yeah, dude,
loved
it
it.
was. It was great.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I went and I went with you and the two other guys. It was like honestly, I didn't know what to expect with going with the group tour. I thought I was going to be going with a whole bunch of other high level quads that have their
Right.
PSWs, and they're not going to want to do much things. And and I went, and it was three other guys with manuals that are just as crazy as me, and were willing to do whatever was meant to do. And it was a really good experience. I learned a lot. I saw, the two other quad, the other guy, Ryan, he's a quad. He's a high functioning quad, but he like can transfer himself to the ground, transfer himself in the pool, which was cool to see. It's crazy how, and like, yeah, no, it was a really good experience.
Nice.
Yeah, it was, dude. It was, and I think everybody on the group and in the group would agree with. It's such a unique experience to have people come together that we don't know each other.
Yeah.
Ron and I know each other in passing, like we've never hung out or anything. We live almost in the same city, but we've never hung out. Greg and I met through social media after we started talking about Will the World, the Costa Rica trip. Same thing with you. We met when we got to the restaurant, and at the end of the day, like we have like friendships built out of this thing, that will carry us, probably the rest of our life, which is cool. That's a good gig.
That's the beauty about traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, quick question. Anybody have any questions in the chat, or
Yo, is anyone got any questions?
how many people are watching right now?
We had two, and now I just got one. We had some comments earlier, but they didn't ask any questions. Yeah, I mean, it's. I love. I'm thinking me and Sheldon might go on a trip to Mexico or
Tulum.
Well, I'm not Tulum because the seaweed's so awful there. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, but somewhere in Mexico or maybe in Belize. Well,
Man, sorry.
yeah. But yeah, have you ever went to Mexico or Belize, Clint?
I just for like day excursions off of cruises.
Yeah.
I have. The Bahamas is the only place I've ever flown into. Any other place tropical, I've been off of cruises, off of cruise ships.
True that. Yeah, I know. I mean, now I'm trying to like research how to, get up to first class or premium economy without paying too much more. Because if, like you said, like if we can solve that piece of making the flight, the most comfortable it can be, I feel like I'm going to be traveling a couple times a year.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got a person, Tammy Patterson. What was your favorite part about the trip, Clint? What was your favorite part about the trip?
I got to go with the monkeys, dude.
Monkeys.
It's just seeing the monkeys at that national park was, I don't know. It was almost freeing to be around them. I don't know. It was. I'm a little bit goofy anyway, so monkeys just kind of fit me.
Yeah. Mine would probably be the either versions of swimming. Probably the hot springs. It's probably the hot springs was probably one of my favorite. Out of my comfort zone, cool things that I did, and then the swimming, and then probably that dinner at the top of the hill with that view. That would probably be one of my other favorites.
Yeah.
Surfing was cool, but I don't think I'd seek it out again.
Right.
I mean, if it was part of an excursion and I was already paying for it, then I'd probably do it again.
Sure.
But yeah.
And the overall experience of how accessible Will the World made our trip was,
Yep.
as a whole, that was the favorite part of it, because
Yep.
none of us were excluded from anything. We all
Yep.
did the same thing,
Yep.
We all had the opportunity to have the same experience.
Yes. Yeah, they did a really good job with that.
Yeah.
Hey, Clint, when it comes to like affordability, like can somebody budget with that travel group that you're talking about?
So they
Can you
actually,
budget with them? Yeah.
they have payment plans. I don't work with I don't work for Will the World. I know some people that do, and I've just started seeing them advertise that you can do payments towards trips. And these kind of trips take a minute to plan. I mean, I don't know, when did we start talking about Costa Rica, Nick? Was it
I
6
think it was
months?
the beginning of the year, like March, April,
Yeah,
May.
so March, April, May, June, July, August. So 7, 8 months is how long it took us to from when we started talking about it to actually going there.
Yep.
So you even think about a trip that cost, and I'll just throw a number out there, $3,000 or $4,000. Yeah, that's a lot of money for us. It's a lot of money for anybody, but it's especially a lot of money for people that have disabilities and are on fixed income.
Right.
But if you can budget a certain amount and pay that off in 7 or 8 months, and I don't know what their terms are at all. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing numbers out there. Yeah, if you can break it up like in payments, that's a great way to do it, I think.
True that.
Right. Yeah. So if people in the chat want to know how to budget, last year I actually financed my Cuba trip, and I was only paying like $75 a month. And most airlines now have a third-party financial company that you can finance your trip. I don't know if you guys know that now. It's something new.
I didn't know that. No, that's
A
cool.
couple of years ago that you can finance your trips.
True that.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's like now it's like I paid the big fee to go and experience it and all that stuff, but now it's kind of like paid experience,
Right?
Now
Yeah.
I know if I go to Costa Rica, I know it's possible. I know where to go. I know where to stop. I know what I can do. I know all these things. So next time I don't have to go to with the world.
I
Maybe
mean,
Yes.
you could easily go along,
Yep.
or with just some buddies, and let them experience the same thing that you were able to experience.
Yep.
I
Exactly.
thought about that too. It's like, even if I went for a 3 or a 4 day trip over there, I could go to the hot springs. I could go to the national park. I
Yep.
might opt for the surfing event because I did like that part of it.
Yep.
Also, but now you don't have to research as much. They did the research for us.
True that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%. But yeah, man, it was awesome.
So, Clint,
Yes,
what's
sir.
next?
Say it again.
What's next? Where are you planning on
I
going to?
think next for me is going to be an African safari. That's in November of next year also.
That's gonna be
Like
sick.
13 or 14 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to about that the most?
I don't know. I mean, I like Costa Rica. I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
I think just the not necessarily individual experiences, but an overall experience, meeting new people from a group, or even if we had our same group again, how cool would it be if we continued this and did a trip once a year with the same crew that went, and add some people here or there, or whatever, that'd
Which
be kind of cool.
country you plan on going to?
True that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so what do you have like in mind? What Africa trip?
You'd have to look it up. They just started advertising it. Go to willtheworld.com, I think it is.
So are you thinking that you're gonna plan it with Will the World?
I would absolutely. The only time, whenever I travel from here on out the rest of my life, if Will the World is doing trips, I'm going with them. No reason not to, dude. There's no reason in the world To answer Tammy's question, yes, I would be going with a group,
True
Will of the
that.
World. No reason whatsoever not to do it that way. They
True
just
that.
they just cross their
They killed
T's
it.
and dot their I's, and they make it
They killed it.
so enjoyable.
That's true. You know.
Yep.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. I mean, I might be down. You never know. I mean,
I know, dude.
I could look into it. You know. I mean, I know that some other person on another group is trying to plan something to Brazil, and I was like, you know, at first I'm like, you know, it's just the plane ride, like over to Africa or Brazil. It's such a long play
I know,
ride.
right?
You know, I mean, if I could get first class, I think I can maybe manage it. You know,
Yeah,
lay down
right.
seats and stuff like that and get off my ass.
Yeah.
I could maybe make it work, or get a connecting flight. You know, do like a one stop and spend 2 days in one of the
Somewhere,
countries on
yeah.
the way. You know, I mean, I could maybe swing that. You know, but
Clint,
yeah,
I was trying to get Nick to come with me to Argentina in January. I told him 14 hours. He's like, hell no.
true that.
Great.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, does anyone have any questions? You know, what to expect, where we went, concerns, you know, anything they want to know, you know?
Hey, Clint, do you have a YouTube channel, buddy?
I don't, dude. I just got rid of my MySpace account. Are you kidding?
Oh, okay. So where can people get a hold of you?
So my Facebook group, Spinal Cord Injury USA.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I'll leave a link down in the description for his Facebook group. And yeah, I'll also leave a link down in the description for Sheldon the Blind Traveler.
Yeah, dude. So I can join up with Sheldon. That'd be awesome, dude.
Oh, man, Clint, I can't wait to meet you, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be a pleasure.
Yeah.
All
Actually, quick question. If somebody has like a developing type of mental health, like the disability, or obviously me being blind, can they still join the group or no?
My group is spinal cord injury and mobility.
No, I mean like the travel group.
Oh,
like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yep.
It doesn't matter what type of disability you have, right?
I obviously can't speak for them.
Okay.
But as far as I know,
yeah.
Whether it be physical or brain injury, blindness, any of those are fine with Will of the World.
True that.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
no, for sure. Yeah, but I mean, you want to go with a group though. I mean, I don't think I would go with Will of the World if it wasn't with a group, mainly for the reason that if you go by yourself, you're paying for all of the expenses for the whole planned trip. But if you go with a group, it's a more affordable price, something that we can handle. And it's better to go with a group, honestly. Yeah. Honestly, I would have way rather go with all you guys the way we just did it than going by myself.
What a great time we had. I mean, you know, we're all a little bit close to the same age. I was a little bit older than most of the guys there, but at the end of the day, dude, we hung out like we've been we've been buddies for years, you know. And that's one thing that with a physical disability, and I'll just speak for the spinal cord injury community, which is, you know, where I've spent my life. It's a brotherhood, man. I mean, we already have that in common, and that brotherhood will get you through many things. You know, I mean, I've been in several different situations where I had to call on somebody else in a wheelchair to get the answer. You know.
Yep. You know, it takes one to know one.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
How long have you been in your chair?
35 years. I broke my neck in 1988.
Wow.
Damn, you're a trooper, man. You know, I feel
You're
like
not even 35 years old, are you, Nick?
Yeah, I feel like 12 years in a chair is a lot, but yeah, man, that's double. That's more than double. That's inspiring, man.
Yeah, very inspiring.
And to see you still happy and still pushing, still helping the community.
I just got back from the beach, man. I just spent 4 days at the beach with my family. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice.
You know, so he's like a fucking shining example of how life can still be good regardless of the disability you got. You know?
Yeah. My coworkers over here is like, yeah, it's because you don't work. But I'm at work. I'll go ahead and tell you I'm at work.
True that.
Right.
Bro. But yeah, no, it was great having you, man. I'm great having both of you.
Clint, it was really nice talking to you, buddy. I really can't wait to meet you, buddy.
Pleasure meeting you,
hot dogs on me, dude, and hamburgers.
I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
All right, bro. Take it easy, Clint.
Cheers.
Thanks for
Later,
everybody
guys.
coming, and I'll see you on the next one.
Bye, bro.
Peace.
That was about like 2 hours.
Yeah, well, an hour and a half, give or take.
Hour and a half. Okay, so okay,
I'm gonna end the screen.
okay. How many people were on it? Like people jump in and out, right?
Yeah, people are jumping in and out.
Can you read